Voice inside your head that speaks louder than any crowd. It whispers when you're alone, questions when you're confident, and grows stronger in moments of silence. This voice has a name: self-doubt. It tells you that you're not smart enough, not brave enough, not worthy enough. It paints pictures of failure before you even try. It makes you second-guess decisions you know are right. It turns possibilities into problems and dreams into fears. But what if I told you that this voice is lying? What if everything it ever said about your limitations was nothing more than an illusion? The ancient Stoics understood something that modern science is just beginning to prove. The mind that creates doubt is the same mind that can destroy it. They discovered that confidence isn't something you're born with or without. It's something you build, brick by brick, choice by choice, thought by thought. Marcus Aurelius, who ruled the most powerful empire in history, wrote these words in his private journal: "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." He wasn't writing for an audience. He was reminding himself of a truth so important that even emperors need to remember it. Today, you'll discover 7 laws that the Stoics used to silence the voice of doubt forever. These aren't gentle suggestions or wishful thinking. They are mental tools sharpened by centuries of testing, proven by the lives of people who faced impossible odds and emerged unbroken. Each law will meet doubt where it lives and strip away its power. By the time we finish this journey together, you'll carry within yourself something no one can take away: the unshakable knowledge that you are enough, you always have been, and you always will be. Warriors, let's lock this in together. Drop it in the comments and make it real. I am stronger than my doubts. Number 1. The law of inner ownership, your true kingdom. The first path to unshakable confidence starts with understanding a simple but revolutionary truth. There are only 2 worlds you can live in: the world of what you control and the world of what you don't. Self-doubt multiplies when you try to live in both. Every morning you wake up and face a choice. You can spend your energy trying to control the weather, other people's opinions, the outcome of your efforts, and 1,000 other things that will never bend to your will. Or you can focus your power on the one kingdom where you rule absolutely, your own mind. Epictetus learned this lesson in the harshest classroom imaginable. Born into slavery, stripped of freedom, treated as property, he discovered something his masters could never touch: his power to choose his response to any situation. He said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." Think about the profound freedom in those words. Here was a man who owned nothing, not even his own body, yet he found the ultimate ownership. The ownership of his thoughts, his reactions, his inner world. When you embrace inner ownership, something beautiful happens. The voice of doubt begins to lose its grip because it has nothing to hold on to. Doubt feeds on your attempts to control the uncontrollable. It grows strong when you worry about outcomes beyond your reach. But when you pull your energy back to your own domain, doubt finds itself homeless. Imagine you're the captain of a ship in a storm. You cannot control the wind or calm the waves, but you can adjust your sails. You can steer your course. You can keep your crew focused and your compass steady. The storm may rage around you, but inside your ship, you maintain order. This is the essence of inner ownership. It's not about giving up or becoming passive. It's about directing your power where it can actually make a difference. In your choices, your effort, your response to whatever life brings. The next time doubt creeps in, pause and ask yourself this simple question: is this something I actually control? If the answer is yes, then take action. If the answer is no, then release it and redirect your energy to what you can influence. This law also liberates you from the prison of perfectionism. Perfectionism is doubt wearing a disguise, telling you that unless everything turns out flawlessly, you're a failure. But when you focus on what you control, your effort, your honesty, your persistence, you realize that your worth isn't determined by perfect outcomes. Your inner dialogue transforms when you live by this law. Instead of, "What if they don't like what I say?" you think, "Am I speaking my truth?" Instead of, "What if this doesn't work out?" you ask, "Am I giving my best effort right now?" The world may reject your ideas, misunderstand your intentions, or ignore your contributions. But if you remain true to your values and focused on your choices, you cannot be defeated. Your power lies not in controlling the response, but in owning your action. This is your first key to freedom. Own completely what is yours and release completely what is not. In that ownership, you find a strength that no external circumstance can shake. Stamp this truth in the comments. Own it, live it, breathe it. I control my mind, not the world. Number 2. The law of present strength, your anchor in time. Self-doubt has a favorite hiding place. It lives in the shadows of yesterday and the fog of tomorrow. In the past, it replays your mistakes like a broken record. In the future, it projects your fears onto a screen that hasn't been written yet. But here's what the Stoics discovered. Both the past and the future are stories your mind tells itself. The only place where life is actually happening, where your strength is actually available, is right here, right now. Seneca, one of Rome's greatest philosophers, understood this deeply. He wrote, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." He wasn't suggesting that you ignore the future or pretend the past doesn't matter. He was pointing to where your real power lives, in this moment. When your mind travels too far ahead, it creates problems that don't exist yet. You suffer defeats that haven't happened. You fight battles that may never come. And while you're lost in those imaginary struggles, you miss the real opportunity sitting right in front of you. Think of a skilled musician performing on stage. If her mind drifts to the mistakes she made in yesterday's practice, or jumps ahead to worry about tomorrow's performance, her fingers stumble on today's notes. But when she stays present, when she focuses completely on this song, this breath, this moment, her music flows with perfect grace. Living by the law of present strength means making peace with this truth. You cannot change what happened yesterday, and you cannot live tomorrow's experiences today. But you can make this moment count. Here's the secret the Stoics knew that doubt tries to hide. Greatness is not built in years or decades. It's built in moments. One moment of choosing courage over fear. One moment of picking discipline over distraction. One moment of speaking truth when it would be easier to stay silent. String together enough of these moments, and you create a life that doubt cannot touch. When uncertainty tries to overwhelm you, ground yourself with this powerful question. What does this exact moment require of me? Not next week's challenges or next year's goals. Just this moment, right now. The answer is usually beautifully simple. Breathe. But when you gather your full strength into the present, you become unstoppable. The present moment is not just where you are, it's where your power is. It's where your choices matter. It's where transformation happens. Yesterday is a closed book. Tomorrow is an unwritten page. But today, this hour, this breath, this is where you write your story. Your strength doesn't live in the past or future. It lives here, now. And now is always enough to handle whatever comes next. Type this like you mean it. Let's anchor ourselves right here, right now. My strength lives in this moment. Number 3. The law of enduring trials, the forge of character. There's a truth about life that no one wants to hear, but everyone needs to understand. The strongest people you know became strong because they endured what others could not. Every person who inspires you, every leader who guides others, every individual who radiates quiet confidence, they all share one common experience. They were tested by life, and instead of breaking, they chose to bend and grow stronger. Self-doubt screams loudest when you face difficulty, when the path gets steep, when circumstances feel unfair, when you're tired and the finish line seems impossibly far away. In those moments, doubt whispers its favorite lie. This is too hard. You're not built for this. Give up now before you fail. But the Stoics understood something that changes everything. Obstacles are not evidence of your weakness. They are the training equipment that builds your strength. Marcus Aurelius, leading an empire through wars, plagues, and betrayals, wrote these revolutionary words: "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." He wasn't speaking from theory. He was describing the reality of how strength is born. When you shift your perspective on trials, you shift your power. Instead of seeing challenges as proof that you're not capable, you see them as evidence that you're being prepared for something greater. Think of a diamond deep in the earth. It doesn't become brilliant through comfort or ease. It becomes valuable through immense pressure applied over time. Without that pressure, it remains just carbon. With it, it becomes precious. Your character works the same way. It becomes resilient, not in easy times, but when you choose to stand firm through difficult ones. Every challenge you face is life's way of asking, how strong do you want to become? When trials arise, and they will, ask yourself a different question than doubt wants you to ask. Don't wonder, why is this happening to me? Instead, ask, what strength is this situation calling me to develop? The Stoics believed that the universe operates with wisdom, not cruelty. Life doesn't give you difficulties to destroy you, but to develop you. To reveal courage you didn't know you possessed, patience you thought impossible, resilience that surprises even you. Here's what happens when you embrace this law. Failure stops being your enemy and becomes your teacher. Every setback transforms into setup for growth. Every hardship becomes a classroom where you learn lessons that comfort could never teach. Your scars are not signs of weakness. They are proof of battles fought and won. They are evidence that you faced something difficult and chose to keep going. They are medals of honor that speak of your refusal to surrender. Some people look at their difficulties and see only problems. Others look at the same difficulties and see possibilities. The difference isn't in the circumstances, it's in the perspective, and perspective is always a choice. This is why the Stoics could face loss, betrayal, and hardship with such calm dignity. They knew that everything, even suffering, could be transformed into wisdom if you chose to learn from it rather than just endure it. Every trial you face is forging you into someone stronger than you were yesterday. Trust the process, even when it hurts. Especially when it hurts. Number 4. The law of self-mastery, ruling your inner world. The most important battle you will ever fight is not against external enemies, competitors, or obstacles. It's the daily battle for sovereignty over your own mind. Every single day, from the moment you wake up to the moment you close your eyes, you face a fundamental choice. Will you be the master of your thoughts, or will your thoughts master you? Most people never realize they have this choice. They let their minds run wild, following every worry down rabbit holes of anxiety, chasing every doubt into caves of fear, allowing every negative thought to set up camp in their consciousness. But the Stoics knew better. They understood that true freedom, the only freedom that really matters, comes from mastering yourself. is free who is not master of themselves. Think about that profound truth. You could achieve every external goal, win every prize, earn every accolade the world has to offer, but if you're enslaved by fear, controlled by impulses, or ruled by doubt, you're not truly free. Self-mastery is the art of becoming the CEO of your own consciousness. It means taking responsibility for the thoughts you entertain, the emotions you feed, and the mental habits you develop. When self-doubt appears in your mind, it often feels like an unwelcome visitor barging through your door. But here's what the Stoics understood. You are the doorkeeper. You cannot prevent the thought from knocking, but you absolutely control whether you invite it in for dinner. Your mind is like a garden. If you plant nothing, weeds will grow on their own. Doubt is a weed. It requires no effort to flourish. But confidence, courage, and clarity are like flowers. They must be planted, watered, and tended with intention. This is not about positive thinking or pretending everything is perfect. This is about developing the skill to observe your thoughts without being overwhelmed by them, to acknowledge your emotions without being controlled by them. Imagine your mind as a wild horse. Untrained, it runs in every direction, often toward danger, throwing you off balance and leaving you exhausted. But with patience, consistency, and gentle strength, that same horse can carry you anywhere you want to go. Self-mastery is not about perfection, it's about practice. It's choosing, over and over again, to return to strength when weakness calls, to return to focus when distraction tempts, to return to courage when doubt whispers its lies. Start with the small choices, because discipline in little things grows into strength in great things. Choose to wake up when your alarm sounds instead of hitting snooze. Choose to speak with kindness even when you're frustrated. Choose to complete one task before starting another. Notice how these small acts of self-mastery build momentum. The voice of doubt grows quieter while the voice of clarity grows stronger. You begin to trust yourself because you see evidence that you can rely on your own decisions. The ancient Stoics wore self-mastery like an invisible crown that no external force could remove. Once you claim this crown, once you become the undisputed ruler of your own inner kingdom, no circumstance can truly defeat you. You are not at the mercy of every thought that passes through your mind. You are the author of your mental story, the director of your emotional responses, and the architect of your psychological strength. Master yourself, and you master your world. Claim your crown in the comments. This is your daily reminder of power. I rule my mind. Number 5. The law of inner worth, your unshakable foundation. Why do we doubt ourselves so deeply? Why do we question our value, our capabilities, our right to dream big dreams and pursue meaningful goals? The answer is both simple and tragic. We've handed over the job of determining our worth to other people. We've made our value dependent on external approval, validation, and recognition. And when those things don't come, or when they fade, doubt floods in like water through a broken dam. But the Stoics taught something that can change your life forever. Your worth is not awarded by the world. It already exists within you, complete and unshakable, waiting for you to remember it. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the ancient world, wrote these words: "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Notice what he didn't say. He didn't say it depends on applause, wealth, reputation, or the opinions of others. He said it depends on your inner life, the thoughts you choose to nurture, the values you decide to live by. The law of inner worth means understanding that no external voice has the authority to define you. Not praise, not criticism, not even silence. You are not a reflection of what others see when they look at you. You are the light that shines from within, regardless of who notices it. Doubt weakens when you stop asking, "Do they approve of me?" and start asking, "Do I approve of myself? Am I living according to my deepest values? Am I becoming the person I want to be?" The Stoics lived in worlds filled with judgment. Emperors faced constant criticism from senators and citizens. Slaves were dismissed as worthless by their masters. Philosophers were mocked by crowds who preferred entertainment to wisdom. Yet they found peace in the storm. How? They stopped negotiating their worth with a world that could never fully understand their value. When you embrace this law, you stop riding the emotional roller coaster of other people's opinions. Their approval might feel nice, their rejection might sting for a moment, but neither one defines who you are at your core. Think of a lighthouse standing on a rocky coast. Storms may rage around it, waves may crash against its foundation, but it continues to shine its light into the darkness. The lighthouse doesn't depend on the approval of ships to know its purpose. It doesn't dim its light because some sailors prefer different navigation methods. It simply shines consistently and brilliantly because that's what lighthouses do. You are that lighthouse. Your worth doesn't come from external recognition. It comes from your commitment to being true to yourself, to growing into your potential, to contributing your unique gifts to the world. Living this way doesn't mean arrogance or thinking you're better than others. It means quiet confidence, a dignity that doesn't need to announce itself because it simply is. It's the peace that comes from knowing I am valuable not because of what I achieve, but because of who I am. This law protects you from two dangerous traps, the high of praise and the low of criticism. When you know your worth comes from within, you can receive compliments gracefully without becoming addicted to them, and you can face criticism honestly without being destroyed by it. Your value is not up for vote. It's not determined by committee. It's not subject to market fluctuations or popular opinion. Your worth is built into the very fabric of your being, as unchangeable as your DNA and as permanent as your heartbeat. Remember this truth and carry it with you always. You are enough. You have always been enough, and you will always be enough. Not because of what you do, but because of who you are. Drop this below and let the world see your unshakable truth. I am enough as every obstacle becomes a mountain. Every setback feels permanent, and every challenge seems designed to defeat you. But the Stoics mastered something that doubt fears, the power of perspective. They understood that what disturbs us is rarely the event itself, but the lens through which we choose to see it. Epictetus taught his students, "People are disturbed not by things, but by the views they take of them." This isn't just philosophy, it's psychology. Modern research confirms what the Stoics knew. The meaning you assign to an event has more impact on your life than the event itself. When you shift your perspective, you shift your power. The challenge that looked insurmountable becomes manageable. The rejection that felt crushing becomes redirection towards something better. The failure that seemed like an ending becomes the beginning of wisdom. Perspective is like adjusting the lens on a camera. The same scene can look overwhelming when you zoom in too close, or perfectly manageable when you pull back to see the bigger picture. Your problems work the same way. Imagine standing with your nose pressed against a massive painting. All you see are dark brushstrokes, rough textures, and confusing patches of color. Step back 5 feet, and suddenly the beautiful image emerges, full of meaning and purpose. Step back further, and you see how this painting fits into the larger gallery, how it relates to other works of art. Life operates on the same principle. Doubt comes when you're pressed too close to your immediate problems. Perspective pulls you back, so you can see the larger design of your story, the ways your current challenges fit into your growth, the possibilities hidden in what looks like obstacles. Here's what the Stoics knew that can change your life. No situation is as permanent, overwhelming, or hopeless as your fear makes it seem. From a higher vantage point, every difficulty becomes smaller, clearer, and more workable. And perspective is always a choice. You cannot always choose your circumstances, but you can always choose how to frame them. You can call a setback a catastrophe, or you can call it a course correction. You can see criticism as an attack or as information. You can view failure as proof of your inadequacy or as tuition paid for valuable lessons. This law frees you from the prison of tunnel vision. It gives you wings to rise above the immediate chaos and see with the clarity that comes from altitude. It reminds you that this moment, this problem, this challenge is just one small part of a much larger story. When doubt tries to convince you that your current struggle is the whole story, ask yourself these perspective-shifting questions. How will this matter in 5 years? What might I learn from this experience? How could this redirect me towards something better? What would I tell a friend facing the same situation? Watch how those questions change everything. What seemed like the end of the world becomes just another chapter in your ongoing story of growth and resilience. The Stoics faced wars, plagues, betrayals, and losses that would break many people. But they developed the ability to see each hardship as part of a larger pattern of development, each challenge as preparation for greater responsibility, each trial as evidence of their growing strength. You have that same power. Use it wisely, and you'll discover that very few things in life are as bad as they first appear, and almost nothing is as permanent as fear wants you to believe. Choose your perspective carefully, because it will determine not just how you feel, but who you become. Number 7. The law of alignment, living your truth. Deep in your heart, beneath all the noise and confusion, you already know the kind of person, consistent, even when no one is watching, but self-doubt grows loudest in the space between who you are and who you want to be. When your actions don't match your values, when your choices contradict your principles, when you say one thing but do another, that's where doubt finds fertile ground to grow. The Stoics understood that lasting peace comes not from external success, but from internal alignment. When your life and your principles walk hand in hand, when your actions reflect your values, when your choices serve your highest good, doubt has nowhere to hide. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. These weren't just pretty words written in a journal. They were operating instructions for a life lived with integrity. This is the law of alignment, choosing to live in harmony with your deepest values, walking with integrity whether anyone is watching or not. Because when your external actions align with your internal truth, you create an inner strength that cannot be shaken. Think of a river flowing within its natural banks. It moves with power, clarity, and unstoppable momentum. But when water spills outside those boundaries, it becomes scattered, weak, and confused, causing damage instead of nourishing the land. Your life works the same way. When you stay true to your values, when you act with integrity, when you make choices that honor your authentic self, you flow with natural power. When you drift from your principles, you lose direction and doubt floods in to fill the confusion. Self-doubt often disguises itself as guilt, regret, or inner conflict. But the real problem isn't that you're not good enough, it's that you're not being true to who you really are. The cure isn't seeking more approval from others. It's returning to alignment with yourself. Ask yourself these powerful questions. Am I living according to my deepest values? Do my actions match my beliefs? If someone followed my example, would they become the kind of person I respect? If you can answer yes, then doubt has no legitimate case against you. You might face criticism from others, You might encounter setbacks and challenges, but you'll face them with the unshakable confidence that comes from knowing you're living your truth. The beauty of this law is the peace it creates. When you're aligned with your values, you no longer need to prove yourself to anyone. You're not trying to be someone else's version of success. You're simply being the most, or doesn't require perfection. You will stumble sometimes. You will make mistakes, poor choices, decisions you later regret. But each time, you can choose to realign. Each time, you can choose to return to your values, and in that return, you grow stronger. The Stoics lived by this truth. Your life is your message to the world. Let it be a message of integrity, where your values aren't just beautiful ideals hanging on the wall, but lived realities that guide your daily choices. When you live in alignment, you become unstoppable, not because you never face opposition, but because you know who you are and what you stand for. That kind of clarity creates a confidence that no external circumstance can touch. Your values are your compass. Follow them faithfully, and you'll never truly be lost. Live them consistently, and doubt will have nowhere to take root in the garden of your character. These 7 laws are not separate tools. They are interconnected principles that work together to create something powerful. A mind that cannot be shaken by doubt, a heart that cannot be discouraged by setbacks, and a spirit that cannot be defeated by circumstances. The law of inner ownership teaches you to focus your energy where you have real power. The law of present strength anchors you in the only moment where change is possible. The law of enduring trials transforms your obstacles into opportunities. The law of self-mastery makes you the ruler of your own responses. The law of inner worth reminds you that your value comes from within. The law of perspective gives you the ability to see clearly through any storm. The law of alignment ensures that your life reflects your deepest truth. Together, these laws form a philosophy of unshakable confidence, not the loud, boastful confidence that crumbles under pressure, but the quiet, steady confidence that grows stronger with every test. This is not about becoming perfect or never feeling uncertain. It's about developing the tools to meet doubt when it comes, and it will come, with wisdom instead of fear, with strength instead of surrender. You now carry within yourself something precious, the knowledge that you have everything you need to handle whatever life